Morning, everybody. How are you all doing today? Sunday Adelaja here. and welcome. Well, today is another glorious day. And we are continuing the topic that I've started this week. Today is another topic, but let's... who is going to be the first one today? Adelaja Moron Keji, you are the first one. Then your wife is the second person. Kike Moron Keji. Wow, you people are into something. Tokumbo Talks, Victor Ogundipe, blessings. Lola Shoronke, California. Shegun Fatumo, blessings. Noah Folarin, Bosse, Kenneth Amobi, Ronke from the US. Good morning, Brenda Nkiru, good morning. Akif Latifum, Super Eagle Star. Marshall Esong, Oluwato in Cyprus, blessings. Well, who is the next one? Olukayo De Kundayo, that's Nigeria. Fumi Adewusi, Bill Muna Prosper, Tibet Justice, Bamishaye, Victor, Shegun, Fax, Tariq, Jenny, Justin, Prophet Fitzgerald Johnson, Thank God Emerson, Andrew, Cecile, Jot, Aline Paradis, Obi Ajimodu, Elijah. Well, welcome everyone. Can you, Joseph from Ghana, blessings. Let's go ahead and share. Go look for your share button. Let's look for our share button this morning and see if we could share the message and share the link with as many people as possible before we start the topic today. So I will give you one more second for you to go share the link before I proceed, all right? Go share the link this morning. Invite somebody to come join us, and then we'll be ready to go. Okay, here we are. So if you have shared your link, the topic for today is how to relate with those whom you owe money. How do you relate with those who you owe money? If you owe somebody, how do you relate to them? How do you relate with them? I mean, how do you maintain that relationship? How do you even talk to them? How do you even stand up to them? So that's the topic today. How do you relate to those or with those who you owe money? How do you relate with those who you owe money? That might be helpful because some of us don't know how to even behave ourselves when we owe somebody money and we don't know what to do. And sometimes we do the wrong things because we are embarrassed and we are ashamed and, situations becomes really, dicey for us. And so we misbehave sometimes. So that's the topic that we're examining today. How do you properly and rightly relate to people who you owe money? If you owe somebody money, it's one thing if they owe you money, but if you are the one who owe them money, it's not some of the most convenient things in life. So how do you relate to people like that? How do you relate to people like that? People that you owe money to. That's what I'm going to be examining today. So if you are ready, the first point, I'm going to give you point by point. When you owe somebody money, the first principle that you must observe is the principle of the Bible. When you owe somebody money, forget about those who owe you money now. Let's just talk about those you owe money to, all right? When you owe money to people, the first thing you want to observe is this. It's a golden rule of the scripture of the Bible. And that golden rule says, relate to others, behave to others as you wish them to behave to you. Treat others as you want them to treat you. That's the principle of love. Treat others as you want them to treat you. Now, let's talk about owing money. If you owe people money, how do you want them? I mean, if people are owing you money, if you help somebody out, you gave money to them, and now they are owing you money and it's time for them to pay, or it's about time for them to pay you, and then you can't see them again. Is that the thing you really like from people? Is that the way you like people to treat you? Or maybe you lend people money, you give them money, and then instead of you to pay you back, they just begin to hide from you. Will you feel good about that? I'm not sure. I'm not so sure you're going to feel very good about that. I'm not so sure that will make you very happy. And it's not going to make a lot of people happy. It's not going to make anybody happy when somebody promises you to pay you back in 2 months, and you waited for that period of 2 months, and 2 months has come, and instead of the person to show up, you cannot see him again. He disappears and begins to tell you stories. Or you might not even find him to tell you stories. Only someone you can find can tell you stories. But when you cannot even find the person in the first place, there are no stories to tell. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying, that, you want to treat people the way you would like to be treated. So when it's our turn now, when we are the ones owing money to other people, so how do we then behave? How do we behave? It's only logical. Behave the way you would like them to behave to you. So that's the first thing you want to remember. So think about it. When you owe people money, and when you need to pay some people or any institution, how will you have liked to be treated if you are in their position? Because anybody you owe him money, that person tried to understand you. He tried to put himself in your own state in the first place. And that's why he gave you that money. And that's why you are now owing him that money today. Because he tried to help you. And so how do you treat somebody who tried to help you? And I think the best way to treat that person is, like he treated us when he gave us that money in the first place. Okay, so next point, how you should relate and treat people who you owe money to. The next thing you want to do is even if you are owing the person too much money that you cannot afford to pay, and if your debt is so huge and you cannot do anything about it, and you don't even have the money, like somebody wrote me yesterday and said, what about if I don't even have a job? Still, this principle must be applied. Even if you don't have a job and you don't have any money to pay to the person, make sure that you go back to the person and explain your situation. Don't hide. It's a golden rule. The first golden rule is that treat them the way you would like to be treated. The second golden rule is that don't hide. When you owe people money, don't hide. When you owe people money, don't disappear. Don't disappear. When you owe people money, don't disappear, don't hide. So that's another point that you really want to pay attention to. When you owe people money, go to them. Don't hide from them. Don't run away from them. When you run away from people, you create a bad impression. When you hide from them, you create a bad impression. You create the impression that the money is gone. You create the impression that you don't appreciate them. You create the impression that you are a thief. You create the impression that you are a fraudster. You create the impression that you are a schemer. You spoil your reputation. And I'm sure most of us that actually owe people money, it's not because we are fraudsters or we're schemers or we're fraudulent people. But most of us try to run away because it's not convenient. But most of us try to run away because we don't feel comfortable and we feel ashamed. So it is the shame of it that really drives you away. I understand that. I understand where you're coming from. I've been there. And so if that's the situation, that it is shame that is actually making you to run away, and it's not because you are a fraudster, then, it's better to face the shame right now than to face a greater shame of them labeling you as a thief or as a schemer or as a fraudster. So if you don't want to be labeled that way, it's better to face that shame. So you need to face your shame. And facing that shame means go to the people and explain your situation. Even if you don't have anything to pay them right now, still at least you have the truth. So one of the wealth of the poor man is truth. So just know that at least you are walking in truth. Just know that, be sure in your own heart in your own conscience that at least I am acting out of truth. At least what I'm saying is the truth. And I'm trying my best to, work in integrity. So true, you might not have money, but let your wealth at that particular time be your truth. Let your wealth be the ability to walk in the truth. Let your wealth be the ability to walk in righteousness, to be sincere, in sincerity, in plainness, in candidness. So, walk in truth. Let that truth be your defense. Let that truth be your shield. And let that truth be your protection. And that truth will vindicate you. That truth will fight for you. Even if you don't have any money to bring to the table. But if you are sure and if you are comfortable with the fact that, yes, you are doing your absolute best. You are trying your absolute best to tell the person that you owe money how things are and where you are, what you are doing about their situation. When you are sure you are doing your absolute best that way, God sees that as well. And because God sees that, God will find a way to help you to deal with the situation. But walking in the truth is not just going to talk to them. Walking in the truth is not just going to tell them about about the fact that you cannot pay them back. Your walk in the truth has to include your attempts, and the attempts that you have already made and that you are making. Let what the attempts that you are making also be truthful. So, for example, you cannot just stand or sit down at home and not do anything and say you are working the truth. Your truth should include the fact that you are trying your best to work. Your truth should include the fact that you are making efforts to pay the debt. Your truth should include the fact that you are struggling, that you are, you are also sacrificing something. You are paying some price to make sure that you return your money to these people. So, that uprightness is what will defend you at the end of the day. So even if you are not, you don't have a net worth, but you can have a truth worth, and the truth might be your network at the end of the day. And that truth will be, will give you not just a network worth, but it will give you a network as well. So you'll be able to connect with people, and people will like your truthfulness, people will like your sincerity, and that will open doors for you. So another thing you want to do, apart from treating people the way you want them to treat you, is that you want to go to the people and not hide what's going on, not hide from them, not run away from the people you owe money. Like I said, the message of today is how to relate with those whom you owe money. How to relate to those who you owe money. So one of them is treat them the way you would like to be treated. The other one is don't run away. Don't run away from them. Don't run away from them. Go to them and tell them the truth. Walk in the truth with them. Make sure you are walking the truth with yourself, before your own heart, before your own conscience. Make sure that you are walking in harmony with yourself. You are walking in harmony with God. You are walking in truth before God and before man. So that truth itself will vindicate you when the time comes. Okay. Next thing that you want to do in response and in relations to people that you owe money. Now I know people always say, okay, I owe people money, other people owe me money too. We are not talking about other people right now. We are talking about you and your own attitude. We want our own attitude to be right. We want our own relationship to be right. So let's see what you need to do when you owe people money. The next point. So the next point is, when you owe people money, make sure that you work out a plan. You make sure that you work out a plan before you go to meet them. So sit down, think of your options. Think of your options. Okay, let's say you think about one of the things, the way you want to approach your plan is you want to find out how much income you have coming for you every month, and then make sure that you put your priorities aside first from that amount that is coming to your hand. So let's say you are making $1,000 every month and you owe $10,000. Okay, and so make sure that you write that down, the people you owe and people you need to pay money to, and make sure that you don't start by paying the money, and don't rush and put yourself under undue pressure by, running about and drawing all your salary into debt settlement, or trying to just deprive your family of the basic necessities, and just because you want to get rid of the debt. Don't act in the flesh like that. Don't just act presumably like that. It's better for you to act in wisdom. And wisdom says your priorities should still remain your priority. And your priority number one is God. So, give God what belongs to God, and to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. So you want to start by paying God. Then the next thing you want to do is that God called you and sent you to this world in the first place to fulfill his purpose. So you want to put some amount of money for your purpose, even if it's going to be 1% of your income. Then you want to continue and say, okay, I must pay myself for investment. You want to pay yourself for investment. Even though you owe money, but you still have to do these things. Because if you don't do this, yes, you might clear your debt, but at the end of the day, you'll be lost. And God doesn't want you to be lost. Even the person you are owing doesn't want you to be lost. It doesn't want you to destroy and ruin your life altogether, and to ruin the life of your family. So you still must remain the priority. Because if you cease to exist, if you are no more there will be nobody to pay any debt. So it is only because you are functional, it is only because you are healthy, it is only because you are still alive that we can be talking about you paying some debt. But if you have killed yourself because of worrying, and if you have, lose your priority, and you have been sick, and you don't have the energy to go and work, so who would they be asking money from? There will be no asking money from anybody, because you destroyed your life, and you are now sick, and you cannot even work, you cannot even return any money. Or if you die, you will not be able to return any money. That's why you are still important. That's why you must still put yourself as the priority. Not the debt, not the people you owe that's the priority. You are still needed. So after God, pay yourself. Because why do you need to pay yourself? You still need to keep on investing. That money that somebody was writing to me the other day and said, if I cannot save money because I owe money. If I owe people money, I don't see myself saving. I will never save. I'm going to give out all the money that I make to people that I owe, because I don't want. I cannot even save money when I'm still owing. Yeah, so it means you cannot invest where you are still owing. Okay, let's see the option. You are owing somebody $10,000 and you are making $1,000 every month, and then you still have to pay for your apartment, you still have to pay, take care of your family, you have to do all kind of things. Then you are not even saving anything. You are not paying for your mortgage. So you are going to incur other debt. You are not paying for your house rent, then you are going to incur debt on your house rent. Or somebody is going to chase you away from that house. You are going to lose your house, or you are going to lose your family, because you are going to be getting into more crisis that will impede you from even being able to service the debt in the first place. So that's why you must not go out of order. If you just say, okay, because I owe money, I don't want to know anything, the only thing I know now is paying that debt, and so your family is suffering, then your wife might be mad one day and just walk away, or your children might begin to hate you. And then you might begin to have so much problem that you will not even be able to go to work to be able to pay that debt in the first place. Or you might, not be servicing other debts that are your direct obligation, like paying your rent, paying your other things that you need to pay because you owe people. You want to quickly settle people who are making noise and putting pressure on you. So you are not doing what you are supposed to do. Then they chase you out of the house, or you lose your car. Then you cannot even go to work. Or and you don't want to complicate yourself that way. In order for you not to complicate yourself, you still maintain the principles. And what is the principle that I've been telling you about? Out of that $1,000 you are making every month, make sure that you put 20% aside to service your debt. Maybe you'll be able to do more than that if you have less expensive and less obligations. But 20% is the standard. You want to put that aside, and that's what you want to plan for. And you want to plan how you will use that 20% to begin to pay the people that you need to pay. So you don't just say, okay, I will not save anymore. Now let's take the other option of when you are doing what I told you to do, when you are paying just 20% of your income, and then you are still having 30% to pay yourself. okay, let's say you don't have 30%. Let's say because of the debt, you're having 20% to save, or even 10% to save to pay yourself. It doesn't matter, but your target should be 30%. Let's say you are able to make the 30% from that $1,000. So you have $300 going for investment. And that $300, you are using it to buy something and sell it, or to trade, or do something like that. Why? Because you are doing that, because you are not giving out all the money to your creditors. That is giving you some additional money right there, because that $300 that you are using to trade and to do business is adding money to you, and it's returning the money you are using to pay your creditor. You know, because when you trade with $300, you might be getting back, making a profit of $200 or $100. So that $200 you are giving to the creditor is coming back to you immediately, because you are trading with some of the money, because you have paid yourself, and you are using the money you paid yourself to trade, or you are using the money that you paid yourself to give as partnership to somebody else who is doing business, and that person is using the money, is multiplying the money for you. So even though you are paying your debt, you are not becoming bankrupt. Even though you are paying your debt, you are not putting your family to shame. Even though you are paying your debt, you are still growing your income. Even though you are paying your debt, you are still making, you are still building your financial future. Even though you are paying your debt and you owe debt, but you don't stop to be a human being. You don't stop to be a human being. You don't lose your dignity. You don't lose your respect. Even though you are paying your debt, you don't what do I say now? You don't come under slavery. You are still building your future. You are still building your integrity. You are still building your financial future. So you are still respecting yourself. And because you just pay yourself, and because some money are working for you. So, and then you are not poor, and you are not, becoming an outcast in the society, and you don't lose respect and honor for yourself, and then you are building business at the same time. You are building your future, you are building business, you are building investment. That is wise. It's better to do that than just for you to blindly throw away all the money that you are making. So the idea is, this particular point that I'm making is, when you owe people money and you need to go and talk to them, don't go to talk to them only with your emotions. Don't go to talk to them only with crying or pity. Let them pity you. No, sit down first before you go and meet the people you owe money. Sit down in your house. Count all your make all your calculations. And then come back to those people and tell them, this is the amount I will be paying you every month, or this is the amount I can afford to pay you every month. But if they don't want, some people don't want you to pay them bit by bit or every month, then you can say, okay, let me pay you this in a year's time. So if they don't want every month, you still tell them, this is my plan. Even though you don't want to take the money, but I am using the money. I am going to put 20% each every month, and this money I am going to be multiplying it. I have business I'm doing here. I have some trading I'm doing here. I have some partnership I'm doing here. So that money, anyway, you are putting it aside, and you are telling them that money now, because you are not taking it, I'm going to be multiplying it. And by multiplying it, by the next 6 months, I will have made this kind of money. Or by the next 1 year, I will have made this kind of money. Then I'll be able to pay you in bulk. But if they want to get it every month, why not? Give them every month, because you have designated it to them anyway, to service their debt in the first place. So the idea is that go with a plan. Go with a plan. The plan to settle them. The plan, not the plan of how things are difficult for you, and how you cannot make it, and how work is not coming, and how trade is not going, and how things are so bad, the economy is bad, and you don't have money. Don't go with them. Nobody wants to pity you. They are thinking that you should pity them. Everybody is thinking that you should pity them. Everybody wants you to pity them, especially when you owe them money. They want you to be in their own position. They want you to try to understand their position and their condition. They want you to try to understand and pity them. So don't go with them asking for mercy or trying to do a pity party for them. With them, or asking or demanding for pity from them and some, sympathy from them. No, go cool-headed. Go with your, with your calculations. Go with your figures, and go with your plan. Go with peace, and go with, of course, humility. And also, to let them know that you are serious about repaying their debt, and that you are thinking about them, and that you are working on it, and that you are not going to run away, and you are not hiding from them, and that is, you have their interest in mind. Okay, Ayodeji Solomon Bello says, I would suggest that no individual should lend money which the person cannot forgo to others. Yes, Ayodeji, we already mentioned that last week, because our teachings are progressive. So we've already mentioned that, and I always say, if you are not a bank, don't lend money. But, this is my book, Money Won't Make You Rich. I wrote about this in details in this book. So if you don't have the book, go get it in a Christian magazine, in a Christian shop, or on Amazon. Okay, so yeah, Ayodeji is right, saying don't lend money which you are not ready to forgo, because most people deliberately borrow money which they knew they would not pay back. Which they knew they would not pay back. No individual is a bank. If God blesses us with money, we should bless others with money as well. Yeah, so that's right. But I hear that a lot, and the reason why people believe that people are borrowing money deliberately not to pay back, I don't think most people deliberately borrow money not to pay back, really. I think it has just become a common assumption that people borrow money not to pay back because that's what happens. People don't pay back. And so we begin to think that that's the intention they had in the first place. But think about yourself. Use yourself to judge everybody else. Will you do that? Will you intentionally borrow money not to pay back? I don't think you do that. I think you intended actually to pay back. I think you had a good plan. Maybe you didn't have a plan, but you had emotions at least. You had a feeling that you will pay back. I'm sure most people who are borrowing money want to pay back. They wish to pay back. They want to be thankful. They want to be grateful. The only thing is that once they turn their back, and with the money in their pocket, they never remember to pay back. They never remember that it's not even their money in the first place. They now begin to assume that money is their money. Because when you borrow money, you are not working for it. So you are not going through the process of change and the process of pain that will have been reminding you of the value of that money. But because you just took it without working for it, and it just comes so easily, you immediately turn your back and think that it's your money and that you deserve it. So that is what is making people to not to take it so serious to pay people back. And because they don't take it so serious not to pay you back, they forget, or they are not working on it every day, or they don't put plans in place. And so others begin to believe that it is intentional, that people actually intended to defraud you. But most of the time it's not the reason. Okay, Akintola Abiodo is saying here, if you borrow money for business and it failed, what should you do even when you don't have what to pay with? Yeah, you're going to do exactly what I'm saying now. You go with a plan. That is number 3. You go to come out with a new plan, sit down, build your strategy of how you're going to pay the person back, and go and tell them about it. Mireille Claire is saying, sir, what if you feel that the person owing you is what? I can't see is what? I can't see what? That statement is not completed. But right now, my teaching is, what about when you are owing people? So we want to, first of all, deal with you. Later on, maybe tomorrow or so, I'm going to talk about when people are owing you. But now I'm talking about when you are owing people, okay? Okay, Mirelle say, is not willing to pay, what do you do? How do you claim it? We're going to talk about that tomorrow, okay, if you don't mind. I'm not going to talk about what to do when people are owing you right now. I want to start with when you are owing people. We always have to start the process of transformation from ourselves. Let's begin from ourselves, because it's not just that people are owing us money. Most of us also are owing people money, or we are owing government money, or we are owing, some institutions money. So let's behave right first. Let's do what is right first, and then after that, then we'll begin to know how to treat the people that owe us money. Okay. The next point that the next thing that you need to do when you owe people money and how you relate to the people who you owe money is that don't don't wait for them to get in touch with you first. Don't wait for them to get in touch with you first. When you owe people money, you should be proactive. You should be proactive enough to be the first person that gets in touch with them. Be the first person to get in touch. Be the first person to call. Be the first person to call the people you owe money. Be the first person to call your creditors. Why is that important, friends? That's important not just for them to know that you are not hiding from them. That's important not just for you to prove to them that you are sincere and faithful, but you also need to be the first one to call them to show initiative, because you want to actually be in charge. You want to be in charge. You want to be in charge of your own debt. You don't want them to be in charge, in the sense that you don't want them to begin to push you around. You want to be the one in charge. You want to be able to say, okay, I know I have this debt. Okay, I know I'm owing this money, and I'm taking responsibility for it. And this is the action that I'm planning to do. So you are the one in charge. You are the one. You are on top of it. Because when it comes to debt, or when it comes to money in any form, you don't want to be under the situation. When you come under the situation, things get really bad. You become a slave, and the things begin to drive you up and down, and the body begin to weigh you down, and then the people begin to weigh you down as well, and everybody begin to tell you what to do, and you are under, and you begin to suffer. Everybody just begin to take advantage of you. You become a slave for real. But when you are the one in charge, when you are the one that is saying, I know I owe money, yes, and I'm not refusing it, I'm not running away, I take responsibility for this, and this is what I plan to do, and I'm coming to you with this, and you are being proactive, and you are telling them that you are on top of the situation. Whatsoever you are going through, friends, it is important that you are on top of the situation. Don't ever try to make the situation overwhelm you. Don't ever try to come under that situation. Be on top of the situation. It is very important. It's a very important strategy. You'll be on top of the situation mentally. You'll be on top of the situation in planning. You'll be ahead of the situation in planning. You'll be on top of the situation and ahead of the situation in relation to your debtors. You are the one talking. You are the one, initiating meetings. You are the one, meeting with them. You are the one calling them up to meet. You are the one looking for them. That changes their attitude. It changes their attitude from anger and frustration and abuse to that of respect and that of, honor to you. They begin to honor you and respect you, that you are real, that you are genuine. And that's what you want. You don't want the situation to be turned around. You don't want the table to be turned on your head. If that table is turned on your head, you will lose your equilibrium. You will lose your equilibrium. And that means you will not be balanced. You will just be running from helter-skelter, from one corner to the other, trying to make a living. That is not what you want to do. That's not good for you, because then you are not in charge. You are not you are not be able to have the peace of mind and the coolness to really, make things work the way you want it to work. So yeah. Okay. Dabota Daniela is saying, I am being owned by my state government for over 2 years now. The new government is refusing to take responsibility to pay. They just play politics with everything. Can I sue them? I will talk about that tomorrow, or maybe day after tomorrow. I will see when we get into that. But I will be talking about when they owe you. But before I begin to talk about when people owe you, I want to start by when you owe them. So let's finish about when we owe people first. But just to give you a small and quick answer, I would say yes, that you should sue them. Not that can you sue them. You have to. You have to sue them, because you are living in a society of law, in a society that's regulated by the law of the land, and you must, especially when it is the government, you must cause them to count with the law and to to at least consider the law. That when they are breaking the law, that there are consequences. Yes, you have to sue them. It doesn't matter what the consequences, what the result will be, but you have to do what you need to do. Akintola, Akitola Abiodun says, what if you borrow for you and someone for business and it failed and the other person is not ready to pay? Should I involve the police knowing that there is no paper agreement because the person is a brother? What can I do? The burden is much on me as the person needs some money. Please advise. Okay. Definitely, if you have a partner that you borrowed the money together or you took the money for them, you need to go by the law. Very similar to what I said now for the butter. You need to go by the law. If the police will be involved, that will be by the law. So it's good to do that. But like I said, when people owe you money, that will be tomorrow or day after tomorrow that I'll be talking about that. Or maybe tonight, we'll see. Maybe tonight. Yeah, you have the right and you can go to the police. Okay, Betty Mula is saying, I borrowed 2 years ago from a bank, then I traveled and left the country to work abroad. I tried to pay back from abroad, but things from a foreign bank were too difficult for me to even explain to them what I wanted. Fact is, I didn't pay back. Now I'm scared to go back to that. I'm afraid to go back. Now, as I'm back in the country, as I have no idea how they will react. Maybe I'm under persecution and I don't even know it. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's good that you came out with that truth. The way to deal with it is to write them a letter. Write them a letter that you are out of the country and that you know that you owe them this money. And that's what I'm saying, that negotiate. Be the one in charge. You be the one showing initiativeness. And even if you go back to the country and they didn't reply you, you have a copy of that letter and say that I tried to reach you, you are the one who didn't reply. So in the court of law, you are protected because you try to reach out to them. So be the one showing initiative, be the one reaching out to them. Definitely you have to reach out to that bank. Go and write to them and tell them about your situation and then let them advise you how best to pay if you want to begin to pay. They might have a correspondent bank or a partner bank in the country where you are right now, and that might make things a little bit easier for you. But let them know that you are willing to pay, you want to pay, and you want to negotiate with them the conditions of paying your debt. Okay? Stephen Coach says, Pastor, if someone borrows on your behalf using your name and fails to pay, will you be liable? No. If the person borrowed on your behalf using your name and you didn't know about it, no, you have to let the person borrowed the money from, you have to let the lender know that you are not responsible. Just go and prove your facts beyond reasonable doubt. Let the government or the institution or the lender know that it was not you, that it was a case of fraud. You are not responsible for the fraud of another person, even if they know your name, even if they are using your name, sorry. It's just like saying somebody goes and steals your identity. And this happens all the time in the West. Somebody goes and uses your passport or uses your document to carry out a crime. When people do investigation, they don't make you liable to that. They actually let you go free because it was not you. So you didn't perpetrate that, and you should have to just go and explain to people that you did not perpetrate that, and they should try to understand your situation. So anyway, get a lawyer and let your lawyer help you to explain the situation that you did not take that money and somebody was afraid of theft of identity. Okay. Right. So after taking the initiative and being the one to reach out to the people you owe, let's talk about other things that you can do. Let's talk about other things that you can do in relations to the people that you owe money, that you need to pay money to. When you go to meet them, show them your plan to pay them back, and tell them about all the efforts you are making. You need to tell them about your efforts. Tell them about your work and your job you are making. Tell them about the perspective of that job. Tell them about the promises of that job. Tell them about your growth plan and the plans that you are making to grow your business, to work on yourself, to grow yourself individually. Tell them about the future that is waiting for you. Tell them about the promises of success that you are having. Tell them about other plans you are making. But don't compromise yourself. Don't begin to tell them that you are taking 30% for saving to pay yourself, because they will not understand. They will be saying, oh, how can you be using 30% to pay yourself and you are using 20% to pay me? You are wicked. You don't want to think about me and all that. You don't want to tell them too much information that will jeopardize your own right to be a human being. So don't go ahead and be telling them what is personal, what doesn't pertain to them. What you should be talking to them about is something that pertains to them and the plans you are making to make sure that you pay them their money back, and the efforts you are making and the hard work you are going through and the sacrifices you are making to make sure that you pay them. So those are the things you are talking about. Though if you tell them that you have some savings somewhere, they will come against you and they would like you to get your savings. But tell them just what is enough for them to know. Okay. Next thing you want to do is, when you are talking with these kind of people that you owe money to, they are always very sensitive and sentimental, and most of them, they are always angry and irritated, touchy, agitated. And so in most of the cases, these people might be shouting at you, they might be screaming at you, they might be raising their voice, they might be causing you problem. You don't respond the same way. Don't respond the same way. You don't let the emotions take the better part of you. If they behave like that, just show humility. Show humility and brokenness, and tell them, I'm really sorry that this has happened, and that my apology, but I'm coming to you with my plan and with consideration of your situation, and I want to really offload and remove this debt. I want to cancel it. I want to pay for it. I'm not running away. I'm here for you. I'm so sorry. So don't be exchanging words with them. Make sure that you don't even stop them when they are talking. Make sure you are not cutting them short in their speeches. Make sure that you are not putting pressure on them. Make sure you are not disrespecting them anyhow, in any way. Let them know you are honoring them. Let them know you are respecting them. Let them know that you are grateful to them. And so, so that is so if you honor people that you owe money to, even though you owe them money, but the fact that you honor them will still make them to relate to you properly, to respect you back. When you show honor, you get some honor back as well. When you show respect, you get some respect back. But when you begin to argue with them, it will end up in conflict. It will end up in fight, and people will begin to say you are not grateful and all that. So you don't want to go to that kind of situation. You don't want to be arguing with people that you owe money to. Rather humble yourself and tell them that you are grateful for their patience, and tell them that you are thankful that they have been patient with you, and that they have shown some form of understanding. Rather appreciate them and compliment them. So instead of arguing with them. Okay, next thing that you want to do when you are relating with people that you owe money to is you want to tell them that you will be meeting with them every month to tell them about your progress. You want to meet with them every month on a regular basis. And when that particular month comes, you don't want them to be the ones to call you. You want to be the one to call them up and tell them that you are ready for the meeting, and that you have your plans ready for the month, and that everything is working the way you have agreed, that if they are open to meet with you, that you are ready to meet with them. But if they say that it's not necessary, that you don't need to meet with them, it's okay, but still keep on calling them every month to let them know that you are not hiding and that you are willing to meet with them anyway. And if you have the money that you needed to pay them, that particular month, and you must have it because 20% of your income must go to servicing your debt. So make sure that you take that money with you to give to them. Or you could even make it automatic. You could, take their credit card, their account number, and be sending them the money automatically. Instruct your bank to be automatically sending the money to the people, to these people that you owe. But every month, make sure that you have some plan of giving them some report of what is going on, and that you are at least calling them. If they are ready to meet, you are meeting with them. But make sure that the 20% you are supposed to give them every month, that you are doing it, that you are faithful in that particular aspect of things. Okay. So the next thing you want to do, the next point that I think I must tell you about is that if you are owing several people, let's deal with that. If you are owing several people, and let's say you are owing 5 people, and of course there might be different amount of money. One of the things you must work at doing is to try to reduce the amount of people that you owe. So let's say you have $1,000 to pay to 5 people. It might not be wise for you to just divide that $1,000 evenly to all the 5 people, $20 or $200 each. That might be, it will take you a long time, and you are not really closing any headache. But what you want to do is that you want to close the headaches, and you want to get rid of a lot of situations first. You want to reduce the amount of creditors you have. You want to reduce the amount of people that are shouting at you and are demanding you to pay them. So in your plan, you could make a plan like this. The person that is having little amount, let's say one person you need to pay them $200, and another person you need to pay $2,000. So if you have the people with the little amount of money that you need to pay to, and you need to pay, make sure that the first 3 or 4 months, or let's say the first year or the first 6 months in your plans, you put those people first. You put those people as part of your priority. So when you are paying, don't pay the ones you need to pay the big amount of money to immediately. Begin to pay those small ones that you could easily cover. Maybe in 1 month you could cover the debt of one of them. Just then, after 5, you are now left with 4. Maybe in 3 months you'll be able to pay the debt of the other one. So instead of you having 5 creditors, now you're having 3. So things like that. So start with the smaller ones, especially the insignificant ones. That makes you to reduce the burden of how many people you have to deal with. Because going to talk to 5 people takes a lot of energy and a lot of stress on you as well. So instead of you going to talk and negotiate with 5 people, you can, you want to reduce that figure to minimum number of people as possible. It's better for you to be talking to someone, not just one person or 2 people, than for you to be talking to 10 people that you owe money to. So, work on reducing the amount of creditors, lenders that you have. Reduce the amount, and by paying them off. Okay, next thing that I want to talk about is that another mistake people make when they are owing many people money is that they just want to take, let's say you owe $10,000 and you are making $1,000 a month. Some people, and you have 10 people that you owe, some people just take $100 and begin to give to all of them. $100. When it comes to a bank, that might work because you want to pay something and you can agree with them and negotiate with them that, okay, you'll be paying them something. That might be okay. But when it comes to individuals, your priority should not be to just give something to everybody. Your priority should be to give to reduce the number, like I just said, to reduce the number of people you need to pay. So, that should be your priority. It's not just paying something or giving something to everybody. No, that might not be the way to go. The way to go when it comes to individuals is to reduce the number of people, your creditors. You want to pay the little ones first. Let them go, settle it with them, and then just be left with the big ones, and then you keep on negotiating with those ones, keep on paying them little by little. When it comes to bank, yes, you might want to just pay little, just for the banks to know that at least you are doing something. But when it comes to individual, because individuals can give you a headache big time, so you want to reduce the number. So next thing that you want to do when you owe people money is that you don't want to take from Peter and pay Paul. You don't want to be borrowing from somebody else to pay the debt that you had before. That will just complicate things for you. That will complicate your life. It's going to give you more trouble because the other debt you are taking is also growing, and time is also catching up on you. And then those people also will need you to pay back. And next time you'll be going to another person to borrow as well, and to begin to pay for the other one. So you don't want to go that road. It should be a taboo for you to be taking money from one person and to pay the other debt. Don't use debt to settle debt. Now, there might be exceptions in that. And the exception could be the fact that, let's say you have those 10 people that you need to pay, or banks or institutions that you need to pay. If now someone, let's say a bank, will give you a cheap amount of, cheaper loan. Let's say the percentages you are paying on all this, you can calculate the percentages and say, okay, I'm paying all these people maybe 80%, the amount of that, the same amount that you are borrowing, or even more amount, you are borrowing bigger amount of money. And in that money, the fresh money that you are borrowing, maybe you are only going to pay 10%. Oh, it's better to take then that new amount of money, fresh amount of money with smaller interest, with smaller percentage that you need to pay, and then use that to quickly cover the expensive money that you have, the money with big interest rate. So in that case, yes, that might be the exception in you using debt to pay debt, but it's not a practice that you want to go into really, because debt is just going to give you much more headache. But I think yesterday Moron KG wrote a very good report on that, how to do that, a very good calculation, about 2 or 3 pages. So Moron KG, if you are there, Adelaja, can you post that letter again? Can you put that testimony again? Because that's a very good one. Let's give it to us. I want you people to look at Adelaja's letter or post, comment that he's going to put. He has a very good scenario of how to know when to use debt to pay debt. So please, if you are there, Adelaja, please, will you post that for us so that we might know how to do this. But like I said, it's not your first option, but you might want to do that if things are really tight for you. And if you have a good condition of the new loan that is cheaper, then you can use that, the loan with cheaper interest, to pay off the ones with high interest. Of course, you are still postponing the evil day, yes, but at least it's less evil, right? So, yeah, another thing you want to, one of the reasons that you don't want to take debt to pay debt is because you are increasing the amount of your creditors, the people you owe money, because you are taking money from other people to pay other people, more people, you are owing more people, spoiling your name the more. So you don't want to do that. But if you have another scenario that could cause you to borrow money to pay the debt or other debt is, let's say you own 10 people and you need to pay these 10 people $10,000, and here comes somebody that is ready to give you that same $10,000, and then it's better to use that $10,000 and clear all the debt of the 10 people. That the idea is that you don't want to have too many people you are owing. So it's better to owe one person $10,000 than to owe 10 people $10,000, because those 10 people you are owing 10,000 or $1,000 each or $10,000. Every one of them is an headache. Is a headache on its own. They are going to be giving you trouble. Every one of them is calling you. So you want to reduce the amount of people you owe. So it's better to be owing that money, that same amount, to one person, and to be indebted to that one person than all the 10 people. So you can take, in that case, money from one person and use it to clear, many people that you owe. So that way, and especially if the percentage is less, the percentage is less. So those are the two situations where you want to probably, use debt to pay debt. But, like I said, it's not the best thing to do. You don't want to rob Peter to pay Paul. And you don't want to postpone the evil day, as we say. You want to rather, do your best. Just follow your plans. Like I said, 20% of your income should be used to serving your debt. Work out the plan, who you are going to pay first. Yesterday, I told you the order of how to know who to pay first. If you didn't hear that message yesterday, go back to listen to it. That will help you. Well, the time is up today. And if you have not shared this link, please go ahead and share the link. And I also want to hear your conclusions. I want to hear what you gained and what you got from this teaching. And I want to hear your action plan and what you plan to do. And I also want to know, was this helpful to anybody? Was I talking to anybody that needed it, or nobody owes anybody anything? All of us are just pure and we're okay. But if you owe somebody, or you had a question like this and you think this helped you, please come back. Let me hear what you're thinking, and let me hear what this teaching has done to you or for you, and what you plan to do henceforth. And I don't know if anybody is there, Joshua or Sufficient. Is any one of you there? I want you to put the link of the latest link, the relentless link, the smart and relentless link on my going to Nigeria. I think it's the Reformers Mindset. Please, can you put the link for the Reformers Mindset video? Anybody that has it, please put it as a link on the comment section. I want to tell anybody that is here today that if you have not seen my new video on going to Africa, it's called Reformers Mindset. Go to it's on my Facebook here, or on my blog. You could go and find it on the blog or on Facebook. Maybe it's on YouTube as well. And, and I want you to watch it. And so if you want to go with me to Nigeria, my plan is I'm going to Africa with 2,000 people. I already have over 200 people from here who are going with me, Europeans, who are going to live in Nigeria for at least 5 years each or 2 years each minimum, and going to Nigeria to help bring about transformation. We are going to bring expatriates and people who are able to bring some knowledge, and we want to do church in a new way. It's not going to be about church, it's going to be about transformation of the country. So if you want to be a part of history, and and to me it's not a problem. I've done it here in Ukraine. Changing a nation is my specialty, and we know exactly how to do that when we go to Nigeria. So if you are interested and you think that you want to contribute to to changing Africa, please get in touch with me. You want to see that video? That video might be an encouragement to you. Some people said they saw it. Can you get a copy? Can you copy the link and paste it here and post it here for people to see as well, so that people could press it and go to see it? And if all of you will share it as well, let as many people as possible, from Nigerian descent and from any other place where they are, let them go see that video. And maybe if you are interested in coming to join us, write or go to my blog, SundayAdelajablog.com. You will see Nigerian Transformation Project there. You can join and fill the form. Or if you want to write me, you can write to my foundation, Nigeria at SundayAdelajaFoundation.com. Or you might want to write to me directly. My email is pastor@godembassy.org. And if you have not read this book is my blueprint on how we could resolve the Nigerian problem. It's on Facebook, it's on Amazon, Nigeria and the Leadership Question. It's not just about Nigeria, it's about is for everyone from any country, because the principles will work anywhere. And if you want to know more about the money issue and the questions, it's called Money Won't Make You Rich. That will help you as well. Well, let's go share the link. And if you have done that, it's nice. Let me see what people are writing. What are the lessons people got from today? Let's see if anybody learned anything today. Let me see. Was there anybody who was touched or ministered to today? Nkiru Ojimadu said, I should not run from those I owe. I should make plans to pay them. That's right. Ayodeji Solomon says, I have seen the video clip. Okay, it reminds me of Martin Luther King Jr. I have a dream. Yeah, by the way, I won in 2003. Yeah, 2003. I was invited, was it 2003? Yeah, I think 2003. I was invited to give the speech on Martin Luther King Day. They have a public holiday, so I was the guest speaker on TV, American TV in America. So, and then I was speaking together with the daughter of Martin Luther King, Beatrice, Bernice. And she told me that I've never seen anybody who looks like my dad and speaks like my dad like you. She says, I think I'm looking at you and I'm hearing you. I think I'm listening to my dad with an accent. My dad with an accent. So many people have told me that when I'm speaking sometimes, it reminds them of Martin Luther King Jr. Well, okay, Tatiana, you say this is the video guy, but there is no link. I can't see any link here, Tatiana. You said this is the video, but there is no link. No link. Terry Samuel says, Pastor Sunday, you just delivered a blueprint for me to pay all my debts. Thank God. Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear if that is helping anyone or not. Thank you and God bless you. Thank you. Thank you too. Thank God it's helping you. But I think it's going to help the people you owe money to as well. They are going to be very happy that you are treating them like a human being this time. Stephanie is saying, God bless you. God bless you too. Okay. Now we have the letter that tells you, Kike Moronkeji is put it there, how, in what cases you could use debt to settle debt. So debt cancellation is called. Please look at the comment section from Kike, and that might be able to help you. She's put them in part 2, part 1, part 2, part 3. Okay, Paul is saying he has not seen the link. Tatiana says she has put 2 times, but we can't see the link, Tatiana. There's no link here. I can see the link. Maybe someone else is seeing the link, but I can't see the link. And Paul also is saying he can't see the link. Yeah, nobody is seeing the link. Adeolu is saying he wants to see the video of this message. You go to my site, go to my blog, sundayadelajablog.com, and you could look for video broadcast, and you'll see all these messages there. Or you could go to my YouTube page. YouTube is Sunday Adelaja Official, and you'll see also daily broadcast there, and you can go and see it. And also, it's going to be on this same Facebook page. You can always be on this Facebook page and go to the video section. You'll be able to, you'll be able to watch this video or others that were recorded before. Well, nice talking to you guys. Nice seeing you. Thank you for being here with us. Tonight I'll be back. I think maybe tonight I'll be talking on what to do if they are not returning your money. What to do if you are the one that they are owing money. So, well, how do you do? How do you get by your money? We'll talk about that tonight. Thank you. God bless. Bye.